Hello and welcome to Mikey's Film Corner. I'm your host, Mikey, and it's time to talk about the freakiest movie I've ever seen together. Now, I don't even know where to start with this movie. Let's start with the obvious. Dave Franco and Allison Brie, a real life married couple in Hollywood, they play a couple who rent out this vacation home. And they go hiking and they realize there's like some dark secrets, like, oh, there's like these abandoned church bells, and there's this weird watery liquid in the bottom of this hole that they accidentally fall in while hiking. Now, um the weirdness kind of amps up to like 11 cuz it goes crazy. The liquids they drink mold their body together like this, and it's like their arms like mold in. Like there's a scene where like Dave Franco's giving Allison Brie like a shoulder massage, and you could see like his fingers get jammed. It's very gross, but in my opinion, body horror. I don't think it does anything for me. I'm sorry. I don't think I'm a fan of the genre. And I liked The Substance because at least they made it comedic or like a satire on the beauty department in California. Well, not California, but like it was like just a satire on like beauty standards and a satire on like how Hollywood portrays beauty. So it kind of satirized it really well. This movie, they put like a cult with the liquid, and like there's kind of a dark truth about it, but I don't know if I could say it because of YouTube standards, so I'm just gonna leave it alone. And I'm gonna tell you what's good about the movie and what's bad about it. The good of the movie. The makeup department did a phenomenal job grossing me out. They did a really good job, so round of applause. You got that. You got that done. Well done. Um, I think that the movie is entertaining, but in like both a good and a bad way. I think the acting from Dave Franco and Alison Brie are great. I think the direction's pretty solid for a horror movie like this. That's cool. Um, Script is a little underrated. I think so. There's some pieces of dialogue that actually do work for this movie. Um, I'm also a fan of the atmosphere. You know, you're in the middle of nowhere, and for a movie like that, I'm okay with it. Now I'm gonna talk about the bad of this movie. Let's start with the side characters. I'm gonna spoil a tiny bit of the ending because there's a side character who works at the school that Alison Brie's character works at. He's kind of important to the movie, like extremely important. He's like a next door. He's also a neighbor in this neighborhood that the two, the couple they live in throughout the majority of the movie. He's kind of important, but I'm not a fan of his character. But if you want to know more, I would just watch it for yourself. Number two, I'm not a fan of the idea of inserting a cult into a body horror movie, or at least something like this. It doesn't work. Doesn't work for me personally. Maybe it works for you. Doesn't work for me. And number three, and this is the most important criticism of all, and I feel like no one's talking about it enough. This is not a date night movie. Okay, this is not a date night movie. Okay, I don't know why the marketing said, "Oh, this is a great date night horror movie." No, it is not. No, the hell, it is not. This is nowhere close. This is like a bad comedy in the form of body horror. This is like a really bad comedy. But in like again, in like a good and a bad way. Where the good, I can find some dialogue cheesy, and it does kind of work where there's some pieces of dialogue that are, solid. And then the bad, it's like it's just paced weird. I'm not a fan of the pacing. The editing's, but I think the camera works cool. There's some angles I do like. Again, atmosphere. I'm a big fan of the atmosphere for this movie, but yeah, the marketing team just did a crappy job. I'm sorry. This is not a date night movie. And I also feel like The same thing happened with a movie I am gonna mention and I'm gonna have to see later. Materialist had a similar issue, and they market it as like a rom com, and it's just a romantic movie, which is fine, but just don't call it a comedy. How about that? Maybe it is funny. I don't know for sure. I haven't seen it, but I have heard like the marketing team didn't do a great job. So yeah, this is another example of this is not a date night movie, and whoever said this is a date night horror movie, you're an idiot. This is not a date. You're taking your partner to this. Yeah, all right. What am I gonna give my final rating to this movie? I like it, but I don't really like it at the same time. I'm one of the people that's like not really 50. I'm a little 50-50 about it, changing my rating at any point, and I didn't have the greatest experience with this movie. I kind of just saw it and I said, okay. Excuse me. So I'm going to give this rating we'll go with a 6.5 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10 seems right. Um, it's, it's good, but like, a little too gross, little too confusing at points, and I don't think the cult plays a really big part of this movie. I think if you took it out and then made it just about the body morphing and stuff, I think it'd be a fine movie. I would give it like a 7, but I'm gonna stick with a 6.5. Maybe I will change it to a 7 if I watch it again, but that's probably never gonna happen because this movie is extremely disturbing. And if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to smash the like button and smash that subscribe button. I also have a live stream, I think, already uploaded. I think by the time you're seeing this review. Yeah, I got a lot of movies to catch up on. I got a long way to go. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Deuces.